All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. It is now 3 o'clock. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Vert. I'm a supervising teacher here with Compass Charter Schools. And today we are in week 5 of our test prep sessions. And we're going to go over the performance task for math. I'm going to help you guys walk through that to see what it looks like. And then we're going to go over the secure browser and how to download it as well. So our mission and vision, our mission statement, our mission is to inspire and develop innovative, creative, self-directed learners, one scholar at a time. Our vision statement is to create a collaborative virtual learning community, inspiring scholars to appreciate the ways in which arts and sciences nurture a curiosity for lifelong learning and prepare scholars to take responsibility for their future successes. This page is our counseling services with all of our counselors. If you have any questions about courses, credits, or just testing in general and how it applies to you, you can reach out to your counselors. Again, we're elementary, so we don't deal with our counselors as much. Our 5th graders will be hearing from their counselors soon from middle school, and you can see who your counselor is right here by your last name and your abbreviation. So our agenda for today. The first thing we're going to go over is what is a performance task? That's a review. We're going to review it real quick. And then what does the math performance tasks look like and what do they include? And then we're going to go over how to download the secure browser. And then I wanted to follow up on that real quick too. So this one's going to be a 2-part series for the download of a secure browser. Today, we're just going to go over the basics of how to get there and how to download. And then I'm going to encourage you this week to try to download it with all of the links and resources I give you. Next week when we meet, we're actually going to be meeting with our tech department, and they're going to be here with us. And if you have any issues or you need help with downloading secure browsers, maybe your laptop's having trouble getting to it or you don't know which one to download, you'll be able to join us and they'll help you with that. Okay, so what is a performance task? Again, our performance task is the portion of the test that requires students to answer a set of complex questions centered on a common topic or problem. So we've talked about this a little bit. We did our ELA and our math practice test, and those ones were like multiple choice type questions. And then we talked about how we have an ELA and a math performance task. And remember, the ELA performance task was writing essays, and we practiced that a little bit. And then the math performance task is this week, and we're going to be learning what does that look like to write in math. So the performance task will be done online, and you're going to respond in ways that are different from how you might respond in a normal paper and pencil test. So again, the introduction to performance task. It measures our capacities such as depth of understanding, research and writing skills, and our complex analysis with relevant evidence. And it's designed to provide students with an opportunity to demonstrate their ability to apply their knowledge and higher order thinking skills to explore and analyze a complex real-world scenario. So these problems are a lot of fun because there's actually different skills that are being tested, and I'm going to show you right now exactly what that looks like. So the mathematics performance task requires students to integrate skills across multiple domains, clusters, and standards of the Common Core state standards to demonstrate their ability to use their math knowledge to solve real-world problems. So you can see right here, on this one, it's a little blurry, and I'll walk you through probably a 4th grade one today. Cereal boxes, and there's all these numbers, different inches, and sometimes they even have tables on them too. And I'm going to show you guys all of that. Students are expected to work more extensively with their test materials, such as informational sources, research articles, or tables of data. So for math, we're going to be seeing a lot of tables of data. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. An example you guys can see. There's a table right here at the bottom. Oh, I have someone coming in the chat. Hi, Madison. I can see right here, we have a little table at the bottom, and we're going to be using this table to answer our problem. So it looks a little bit different than the regular practice test that we were doing. So the individually administered component of the mathematics performance task has a stimulus that provides information for the student to use in the task. So just like last week we saw with the ELA performance task, remember how there were those split screens, and on one side of the screen you had to read all your information, and then on the other side of the screen is where you put your answers? That's exactly how it's going to look for the math one too. So the performance tasks has those 2 split screens where you have to look. One side you're reading, and then the other side you're going to put all of your answers. So the student has the opportunity to use the tools to help complete the task. And we've already played with this a little bit. You guys have seen it. You guys have seen like all of the little tools that we have for math, the magnify, all of that. All right, so now I'm going to do the math performance task with you, and you guys can do it with me. So we're going to go to CAASPP.org. And if you guys want to join me, we can do it together, and I'll put it in the chat box right now. If you guys want to join me, we can do it together, CAASPP.org. I'll give you just a second to get there. And if you don't want to do it yourself today, you can just watch me do it. And we're only going to do a couple, and then we're going to go back to our presentation one more time. So once we're on CAASPP.org, we're going to go do our practice and training tests right here. And then we've seen this a lot now. We are going to go to our green one, the student interface practice and training test. That's what we're going to do again. Ooh, I don't want it to recognize me. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go on this one. And I'm going to share my screen so you can see this one. All right. Carrie, can you just verify for me real quick? Can you see my CAASPP training, the screen on this one? She's there. Okay, so I'm going to move on. If you guys cannot see the CAASPP screen, I'm going to have you just send me a message so I'll be able to know, because I can't see you guys on here. Okay, so we're going to go to the CAASPP.org. If you can't see it, let me know. You can message me in the chat. We'll go to the practice and training test, and then we're going to go to the student interface practice and training test. And this brings us to, this is what I wanted. I was logged in on the other one. This one goes to our student sign-in. And again, we're doing guest user in our guest session, and we are going to sign in. And then remember, we select our grade. And then we're all third, fourth, or fifth in here. So let's do fourth grade today. And remember, we have our ELA practice tests. We have our ELA, or your math practice tests. You have your ELA performance task, and then we have that math performance task. So I'm going to click the math performance task. And then we're just going to leave our settings the way they are. And then we have to do the video and sound playback check. Remember, if you can't hear it, you have something wrong and it won't let you move on, we press I could play the sound and video, and then we say okay. And then we're going to begin our test now. And then, like I had said before, you guys, we have our two screens again. So this is just like that ELA. Hi, Shirley. This is just like that ELA performance task that we looked at. But on here, you can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. Again, we're going to read all of our math problem right here. And then we're going to answer all the questions on this side. So let's just go over this real quick. Let's just read the first part and you guys can kind of see. For art day, you are helping a fourth grade class organize art day. There will be 3 stations: painting, pottery, chalk art. You have 2 tasks. You will help create the supply list and schedule for art day. So you're planning a whole entire art day on this one. This is why it's a performance task, right? Because you have to create a whole bunch of stuff. It's not just answering questions. So the first task that they're going to have you do is your supply list. You need to make sure there are enough supplies at each station for everyone to participate. You will use the following information to create a list of art supplies for your class. There are 24 students in your class. Each student needs 2 paintbrushes for the painting station, 3 pounds of clay for the pottery station, 5 pieces of chalk for the chalk art station. So for this one, that tells you exactly what you need for your supply list. Task 2 is your schedule. You also need to help plan the schedule for art day using the following information. The day starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. Your entire class will rotate through the 3 stations together. The break has to be at least 10 minutes. The break and lunch together total an hour. The 3 stations, painting, pottery, and chalk art, do not need to be the same amount of time, but each one has to be 30 minutes or longer. So that's a lot of information. So you guys, then after you read all of this, that's where it's really important to remember when we did those math strategies together and talked about like how we could figure out these math problems. It's really important to go back to those. We're going to be doing a lot of underlining of those keywords. We're going to be doing a lot of drawing and diagramming to try to figure out what we need to do. So it says, according to the supply list, how many paintbrushes are needed for 24 students? You're going to have to look back all the way over here to your supply list and try to figure it out. You're going to be circling numbers, keywords, and going back and forth. So I'm going to not, normally I let you guys work right now, but I want to go back for a little bit to secure browser. So if you want, you can leave this up and we can do some work in a little bit and I'll be here to help you. But I also don't want to miss out on our time. I wanted to share with you guys how to do the secure browser. That was the most important thing that we were going to do today. Okay. So I'm going back to my slide presentation. You should be able to see that little guy on my slide presentation. And we'll go back to that math performance task if you would like to after, some of you. And we're going to talk about downloading the secure browser. So moms and dads that are with us today, we are going to be testing on a secure browser, meaning it actually has to be downloaded onto your device. It's not a web page that you can get to. You can't type into the URL box. So I'm going to play. I'm going to make sure you guys can hear it. I'm going to stop sharing, just double check. I'm going to share my sound to make sure you guys can hear that. And if you can't hear the video, make sure you chat me in the chat box and let me know. And we're going to watch what exactly it means to download our secure browser.
Welcome to this Downloading the Secure Browser on a Windows Computer demonstration video, sponsored by the California Department of Education. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to download the secure browser on a personal computer that runs a supported Windows operating system for both the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, or CAASPP, and the English Language Proficiency Assessments for California, or LPAC. The Secure Browser is a program that will allow a student to take CAASPP and LPAC tests, and it can be installed on a personal computer to allow for testing. Start by navigating to bit.ly/spring_21 by entering that text into your preferred web browser, such as Chrome, Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. Select Download the Secure Browser in the sidebar. Then select the Secure Browser for Windows page. Select the blue Download the Secure Browser for Windows button. Once the file has downloaded, take one of the following steps. These steps may vary depending on the web browser being used. If presented with a choice to run or save the file, select Run. This opens the Secure Browser Setup Wizard. If presented only with the option to save the file to a convenient location. After saving the file, double-click the installation file that begins with CA Secure Browser to open the Setup Wizard. At some point in the process, you may see a pop-up window warning that files you are downloading or installing could be harmful to your computer. Don't worry. The Secure Browser program is safe for you to continue downloading and installing. Select OK or Run to continue to download and install the program. Follow the instructions in the Setup Wizard. When prompted for setup type, select Install. Select Finish to exit the Setup Wizard. A shortcut icon should now be visible on your desktop. When you're ready to take a test, simply close out all running programs and double-click the shortcut icon to launch the secure browser. Thank you for watching this Downloading the Secure Browser on a Windows Computer demonstration video.
All right, I just wanted to show you guys real quick again that it's actually, that's what we're trying to download. That little icon that's going to be on your desktop, that's what we are going to be using. So we have to download the secure browser onto our devices for both the CAASPP assessments and for parts of the LPAC if some of you are taking the LPAC. So that's super important. I had the question about Mac computers, and yes, you can use Mac computers. You can also use some version of iPads. I'm going to show you exactly where to go and what that looks like. Okay, so for iPads and Macs, yes. Let me show you. Let me actually pull that up real quick. So the state website has, is this one just going to be the diagnostic tool? Let me stop sharing this and pull it up for you guys. So the iPad and the Macs, we've had a little bit of trouble with those recently. There's been some glitches, but they do work. It's not that they all don't work, but let me share with you guys. Open it up. Okay, I'm going to share it in the chat for everyone. Okay, so that's the website that I'm going to go to right now and share with you guys. Okay, so this page that I just sent to you, this has how to download it. It talks about the secure browser and all of the different operating system and supported devices that you can do. So here's all the windows, the desktop windows, the regular windows, and then here are the Macs that work. And then they also have mobile as well, Chrome, and then Windows. There was here, right down here at the bottom. Here we go, the iOS and the iPad OS. This is how you would download it. But again, I know some of the iPads don't work fully. So you're gonna have to go through and see exactly what type of operating system you have and then try to go through the download process. So this week after we end here, and I'll be in here too, to go through, try to download your secure browser on your device and see if we come up with any issues. And if you have any issues where you can't get it on, next week when you come, we'll have our tech department here and then we'll be able to troubleshoot some of those issues of how to download it. Most of us have Windows. I know there were also some issues with the Chromebooks. So hopefully we don't have too many issues or we don't come across too many. But right now we'll just try to download them and then we'll troubleshoot those issues as we get a little bit closer. Let me see what else I have in the chat right now. The address for that one is right here. And I'm going to send it to everyone again. That's how you get to the browsers. And then that's how you get to the download. And then I'm going to share. Okay. And then on this one, we have our bandwidth and our diagnostics. So this one is if you would like to test, I have it on here. It's going to be on the slides. And again, I'll share the slides with you guys at the end of the session. The network diagnostics, it's just testing your bandwidth and your internet capabilities, making sure you have everything necessary you need. So the link is on here. If you click this little picture, I'll go ahead and put it on here for you as well. So if you feel like you might not have the right internet or anything like that, you would check your bandwidth with it as well. Let me get on the chat. And this is the link where you would go and it will bring you right here. And it will ask you, So obviously, if you're a school or school district, it needs to be a little bit more. But if you're a student, you're going to put, I'm a student who will be taking it remotely. Will your webcam be enabled? Yes. Everyone's going to need a webcam. You have to have a working webcam for these tests, and then you'll be able to run your test, and it'll let you know your bandwidth and if everything's okay with that. And then again, we have our resources right here with everything you need to know about testing all in one place is right here on our Compass website. We have our parents' resources. We have our slide decks for presentations, and then all of our practice and training tests. And again, Typetastic, most of you have gotten Typetastic already. You guys are practicing your typing skills. And if you don't have that, ask your ST and they can get you all signed up for that. And then if you have any questions, you can contact your ST directly, or again, you can always contact me. I am here to help you. You can fill out the form. Usually it's easier if you just email me. I'm pretty quick to respond, and I'm going to put my email in the chat again. Oops. I'll put my email in the chat. Yes, and I will email the links as well. Someone asked if I could email it. If you would like these links emailed, I can email them all to you as well. So just write your email for me in the chat box if you would like me to email all those links. Thanks. And then there's my email if you ever need to get a hold of me. And then, so we can go ahead and do that if you want to download the secure browsers. If not, we can always go back. Sorry, you guys, we jumped back and forth. Normally we don't jump back and forth this much, but if you have any questions, I'm going to be here to hang back. I'm also going to do that math practice test. I'm going to walk some of us through that again for those of you that want to see it. And we can go through it one more time for those of us that joined late. And then after that, you guys are free to go. Okay. So I'm going to follow. Again, we're going to go to CAASPP.org. And then we'll do that for the children right now. For our scholars, we can go ahead and go back to the math test in the meantime in practice, so I can be here to help. Sorry, you guys, we jumped back and forth so much. All right. So then for our kids again, for that practice test, we're going to do the math performance task. And today they're going to practice, and I'll be in the chat, and I'll be here to help if you have any questions. We're going to click that student interface practice and training test. And again, we're going to do guest user, guest session, then we're going to sign in. And then you're going to select your grade. If you're third grade, you'll click 3. If you're fourth grade, you'll click 4. If you're fifth grade, you'll click 5. And then today we're going to do that math performance task right here, the math performance task you're practicing. And then you can go ahead, leave all of this as it is, press select. And then we have to listen to our sound and video playback check. When you actually do it on the secure browser, there will be all of these steps. It's the same exact thing once you click your secure browser, but it'll have a webcam check too and a mic check. But today it's just the sound check. And then we're going to say, I could hear it, and continue. And then you can begin your test now. And then you guys can go ahead and get started. Again, we have those 2 screens. I'm going to be here. I'm going to mute myself, but I will be in the chat, and I'm going to be helping you guys, okay? And if you're done and you don't need any help, you're free to go. Thanks for joining.